Welcome back, everyone. My name is Gary Beekler, and I come to you from Nerdrotic.com. And this is the Nerdrotic Nooner. Hope everyone is doing well. I felt like I just hadn't done enough live streaming this weekend, so why not get a couple of more hours in? Seriously. What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a good day. You're probably having a better day than Nick Verrucci of Dynamite Comics. That's what we're going to talk about. We're also going to talk about some leftover conversation from the RIP Doctor Who stuff. We're also going to go over a bleeding cool article about Tenet with some heavy editorializing that I think really goes into what Hollywood has done to itself. As you know, Tenet has been delayed. I'll probably say Tenet, but I mean to say Tenet. But David Tenet, that's what I'm thinking of. And that has been delayed indefinitely. We also have ReleaseTheAyerCut popping back up because David Ayer popped up a script on Twitter. That's pretty cool. They're going to need to do that because they have nothing, and they will have nothing for a long, long time. And Hollywood has themselves to thank for it, and the California government, which we'll get to. Let's see who's here. Thank you, Comics Division. That's the first thing I wanted to see was the audio sounds great. I've got the mic going through the sound system. It works. My voice is going to sound different because of the rich audio of the XLR connection. So I can talk to you like this if you like. I could do a little ASMR, Nerdrotic. That's right. Hail, Geek Tripology, Geek Tripology, and Kate H., and Rusty Shackford, and Jub, and Comics Division, and Starry-Eyed Girl. What's up, Starry-Eyed Girl? I'm sorry you couldn't jump on the RIP Doctor Who live stream, but we will do another one. Buckaroo Baizu, Mr. Insanity is here, Jake D is here, Adam Rollins, Jadukan, Michael Segriff. Oh, it's jumping on me now. Christine Venner, Maldicido 1904, Alex Swee, Problem Being, who joined us on the live stream. It was great. It was good fun. Al Bundy, greatest sitcom ever made. Married with Children. Goat Backen, Fitness Girl, Michael Seagriff. Fitness Girl, what are you doing with your time? I mean, you're probably somewhere where a gym can be open. Our gyms won't be open the rest of the year here in California, at least in this county. Big Fat Nerd, again, you're just big boned. It's okay. Antonio Cardenas, Miracle Draw, and Scott Gentry. Welcome again, everyone. So, hi, missing the Exozone, missing my dose of woo-woo per week. Well, Nikolai, we'll bring that back sooner than later. But I had to kind of cut back on my schedule a little bit because I'm moving right now. And I haven't made a video in like 5 days. So I got a couple of videos to make today. That's why this one won't be 4 hours. I did get an email from, and I do like these emails. Somebody saying they don't like the 2-hour live streams. They want them a little longer. And I appreciate that. That's awesome. That is not a bad email to get. That's a good email to get. So I'll do better. But right now they have to be a little limited until I move because my house is full of boxes. So let's get right to Dynamite Comics. Doctor Who fans, you'll have to wait just a little bit to get through this, but this is all related, folks. This is all related. It's a systematic deconstruction of our favorite characters, our favorite franchises, our mythology, because this is the decline of Western franchises. And that's why a bunch of people are going to manga. That's why the comic industry has to count Dog Boy or Dog Man and Captain Underpants into their sales to sound like they're relevant when they're really not. And these whisper networks that we've been talking about the last couple of weeks that have been destroying the comic book industry, well, one just took out Cecil, our good friend Cecil. So Cecil might not be everybody's cup of tea. He's a YouTuber. He's a comedian. He's a true comedian. He has a channel called Cecil Says. I subscribe to Cecil. I will have Cecil on this channel. And we've had Cecil on this channel. We will have him on again. I've had a lovely steak dinner with Cecil, and he's actually a very nice guy. So they just decided to target Cecil, they being the Whisper Networks, because he was vulnerable. What did he do? Well, he got into business with Dynamite Comics. Dynamite Comics is not a lower tier publisher. They're like a mid-tier comic book publisher. And at least until a couple days ago, I thought they were into making money, and I thought they were doing a lot of good by not picking sides, trying to be neutral. It's harder than ever to do that these days. I completely understand it. But Nick Barucci just passed up a time to become a hero, to make a stand. Now, there are other things involved with the fact that I was going to carry Dynamite Comics in my shop. I will not now. And there are two reasons I will not. It's not just Cecil. And I would like to say publicly, the other reason I have been aware of for quite some time. A couple of people emailed it to me, and we will get into the other reason. Dynamite made a donation to a Black Lives Matter, a BLM charity that helps bail out some of the people who were involved in all the skullduggery over the last 4 weeks. That kind of went under the radar. Somebody pointed out on Reddit, and I had to do my due diligence. I needed more information, but I said publicly, I've been waiting for some context to that. Like, was he forced to do it? I don't know. But it turns out it was just done. So that's a big factor into me making a decision of not going into business with Dynamite, which I could have. I had an opportunity. And I'm appreciative of those things, but this is the reason I don't take sponsors, and I won't from now on. Like, just not going to happen. I'm not even going to consider it, even if it's somebody I like. So don't bother emailing. Don't bother asking, because the answer is flat no. Because I see all sponsors as a liability. As Ethan put it last night, Ethan Van Sciver had to cut ties with Dynamite because of this. And I agree with his sentiment. He's a liability. It could be used against me, against people who come on the channel. No thanks. I'll remain powered by fandom as long as that goes on. And if it doesn't go on, I still won't get a sponsor. No thanks. They're just being used over people's heads. I don't like strings attached anyway. I don't like having to hold back on videos, and I'm just flat out not going to do it. So that's a way to kind of remain free. But that being said, I didn't like that, and I really didn't like them publicly shaming Cecil the way they did. And that's what it was. They were publicly shaming a friend of mine, which was disgusting, and it was cowardly. And with all due respect to Nick Barucci, who's done some good things in the comic book industry, I felt for a long time he was going to be a hero against cancel culture. It sure sounded like that in February when he came out against it at, I believe it was a Diamond Retailer Summit. But he bent the knee rather quickly. Over what? I don't know. I hear rumors that it was the owners of the Red Sonja and Vampirella license. I don't know if that's true, but if it's true, I would ask the owners of those licenses, do you know who your customers are? Do you know what you sell? You sell FAP covers. FAP covers. Red Sonja is not popular because of the content of her character. She is popular because she wears a metal bikini. Vampirella is famous because she wears a ribbon. That's why these characters have been around for so long. That's why they've never really grown outside of their niche, because they're FAP covers. There's nothing wrong with that. I have no problem with that. I think they should exist. I think some of the art on some of those covers is utterly brilliant. But you got to be aware of who your clients are, who your customer base is. So you just bent the knee to a bunch of people who are never, ever, ever going to buy your books. Good luck. And every time you put up a tweet now, you're going to get a bunch of people calling you cowards for the next week or two. And then you're going to think about all the money you left on the table if you just didn't say anything. All you had to do was not say anything. You don't have to pick a side. Nobody's asking you to pick a side. Nobody in our sphere here has asked anybody to pick a side, saying us or them. and nor should we, in my opinion. I won't. Because we become them at that point. I think the biggest difference between us and them is we don't want to ruin anybody's life. We don't want to destroy anybody's livelihood. And if somebody wants to go into business with Gail Simone on some other thing I'm not interested in, I don't really care, as long as you know, unless you feel like you do that, you have to take on all of Gail Simone's politics, then I'll have a problem with it. But I will take each thing on an individual basis. I'm not going to be no broad strokes, no generalizations. That's what the SJWs do. That's what the NPCs do. And I'm not going to do it. But I will most certainly not give you my money. There's a big difference between that and canceling. I make an individual decision to be done and walk away, and I'll give my money to somebody else who treats all the fans with respect. It's gonna be very hard to push for unity these days, because I'm sure unity is something that's patriarchal. It's a construct of the patriarchy, some shit like that. I don't know, and I don't care. Now, am I going to blame anybody for not wanting to buy a comic book that employs from a company that employs Gail Simone? No, that's a personal decision to not walk away, but it's not canceling. Dynamite can go ahead and print all the comics they want. I don't care. I just don't care anymore. I don't care, and I'm with Az on this. I don't care about Marvel. I don't care about DC. I don't care about any of it. I'm done. And the shops, you're on your own. You had your chance to fix this, and you didn't. And you are going to pay the price as time goes on. You already are. You can pretend it's 2019 and pretend to put out that Publishers Weekly article that says the comic book industry made $1.21 billion when the actual floppy comic book industry made about 400,000. The industry that employs Kelly Sue DeConnick and her ilk. Not for long. I'm not too sure if they're working right now. Are pencils up? Are pencils fully up yet? I'm not sure. I don't really care. But Dynamite, you just became Marvel, DC. You just became another publisher. You just became irrelevant. And for what? For Red Sonja and Vampirella? I would dump those IPs. If those IPs are your weak spot, I would dump them. There's plenty of talent out there creating stuff outside of the industry sphere that you could pluck and hire, and they'd probably make you a lot more money. One of those offshoot covers would make you a lot more money. Anna made you more money than Frank frackin' Cho. That Star Wars girl made a lot more money on her cover than Frank Cho, who's currently at $3,000 on his cover for Vampirella. $3,000 whole dollars. Pathetic. If you don't know who Frank Cho is, that's fine. Most people don't know who most comic book artists are. What they are is really famous in a very niche industry. And outside of that, again, I could walk down the street and ask 200 people who Frank Cho is, and they would probably say it's their dentist. Which I think he was a dentist, right? He was a dentist. So much for a relevancy for the comic book industry. And as I tweeted at Nick Verrucci, there is no amount of talent worth losing this many customers over. I mean, in an instant, you lost thousands of customers. Thousands. The comic industry can't afford to lose one. Not one. So yes, I did get more information on that donation, and apparently that donation wasn't an accident. It wasn't done by somebody else at the company. It was done by the management at Dynamite Comics, a donation to an organization that is bailing out criminals, because we can't make the distinction between the peaceful and the non-peaceful. So you bailed out criminals who are going to get away with destroying maybe comic shops. So you maybe helped bail out somebody who was involved in destroying one of the places that sells your books. Do you ever think about that? But Gail Simone is more important to you than customers. And that's what the comic industry has been. It has been lower tier talent who I think Gail Simone, the industry looks at her followers on Twitter like that's actually something, and it's not. It's really easy to not give Twitter power. I heard Az bring this up. By the way, Az and I were supposed to do a live stream today. We pushed it off for a week because I'm limited on time. So apologies to Az. I love you so much. I was listening to Az last night on Ethan's stream. He didn't get to finish his thought, and I will complete his thought. I will complete you. He was going to ask, why not just get off Twitter? Because I was looking at Dynamite's Twitter, like their interaction and what they get on their tweets, and it's like nothing. It's not even worth being on Twitter. If Dynamite got off Twitter completely, it wouldn't hurt their business at all at this point. Go to Instagram, go somewhere else, go to Facebook. I don't know. You could have talked to a few content creators who could have shouted out your covers and stuff, but that's gone now. And just forget Twitter. Or, you know what? Just simply not bend the knee. Don't say anything. Again, you don't have to pick sides. Ethan said he thought it was a dumb move that Nick Barucci tweeted out Cecil's cover on Twitter. And again, if you don't know Cecil, he's a controversial character to some. To me, he's no different than an edgelord comedian. To me, I mean, I like him. He's a nice guy, but I don't judge him on his humor. It's a little dark. It's not for everybody. I think it's funny. Some people don't. So what? But it was his associations. It wasn't even Cecil himself. It was his associations. They just thought Cecil was vulnerable and Nick was vulnerable, and it was quick and easy work for the Whisper Network. Done. And the damage Nick did, I talked about it last night in the Inquisition. Permanent damage. And you just let cancel culture, you just fed them for another day. They're going to get another week off this one. We've got, snarky, bleeding cool articles. And man, they're loving it. They're loving it. You just made a bunch of people who are never going to buy your books really, really happy. Well done. And you know what? Doctor Who fans, does this sound familiar? It certainly does. Doctor Who is made for an audience who won't watch the show. I know I'm going to hear from about 5 or 6 people on Twitter saying, I watch it all the time. Yeah, sure. And you didn't watch it before, and you don't buy anything, and you probably pirate it, and that's fine. Whatever. At least there's some good news in there. But it's the same thing. We're making shows, something they're not, and I'm tired of not talking about it. So comic books was a male-centric industry. It was perfectly okay to have women there. Nobody ever had a problem with it. If there were days where women would walk into a comic book store, they would feel uncomfortable. Hell, I would walk into a comic store and I would feel uncomfortable because when they were starting out, customer service wasn't a thing. These were just comic collectors who decided to open a store and didn't realize like there's things involved like, I don't know, accounting, taxes, customer service, actually being nice to people. That stereotype is there for a reason. It was real. It existed, but it is long gone. Long gone. It was long gone when I had my shop. There is plenty of women working in comics. There have been, and there's a reason they were popular for 50 years. But again, what will sound familiar to the Doctor Who fans and the Star Wars fans and the Star Trek fans, everything prior to 2016 is bad, is wrong, and needs to be undone. Although you've been a fan all your life. I've been a fan all my life, but I really hate everything that came before. There's 2 articles that came out in the last week, and I'm probably going to do a video either on each of them or both of them at once that say the same thing about Doctor Who and Star Trek, respectively. That all past Trek was shit. It really was shit. Even though it was the most progressive show, it was shit. It's these mental gymnastics we keep having to go through, and I'm done with it. So with the comic book industry, I'm just really done. I mean, there's no changing Marvel and DC, and even if they did change, if they went back, it's too late. It's too late. You can go back to basics all you want with Spider-Man and Iron Man. your sales are going to still be stagnant. It's a stagnant industry run by stagnant people, bottom-up industry. It's a power bottom industry with a bunch of talentless hacks. They're the puppeteers of the Sean Gordon Murphys and whoever's left. There's not the talent's not that great, and that's the problem. Is the page write-up, all the good talent got their Netflix deals, or they got canceled by the people who got them. Who let them in the industry. Oh, I'm sorry. So Warren Ellis got canceled by the people he helped get into the industry, and he canceled himself. Again, he bent the knee. This is the problem. This is a problem when you join the cult. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. You can never leave. So let's get to an article real quick. Let's go over this. Dynamite Comics announces Cecil's big cover canceled after targeted by social media campaign involving Gail Simone, Mark Russell, Doc Shaner, and more. Dynamite announced they would no longer be publishing Cecil's big cover, a variant cover for an upcoming Vengeance of Vampirella #1 series by Tom Snigoski and artist Michael Sta Maria. The comic book cover publisher had recently announced the variants cover and launched an Indiegogo campaign on July 17th. At the time of the writing of the campaign, he had raised, it's up to $10,000. It has been shut down, though. And we're going to compare it to some other covers, by the way. Dynamite Comics made the announcement that the project was canceled on Twitter with a quote from Dynamite publisher and CEO Nick Barucci. Barucci wrote, "In speaking with Cecil, neither of us realized the cover would be so polarizing. We discussed and are not moving forward with the cover or the campaign." You know what? Cecil, at this point, I'm not going to speak for him too much. I'm going to go off of what he said. He's trying to be classy about this, and he is being classy about this. He's not throwing Nick under the bus. He doesn't want anybody to go after Nick. I would say, you know what? I'm not going to tell you what to do. Say what you want to Dynamite Comics about this issue. That's what I would do. I would talk specifically about this cover and what it does with cancel culture. We don't need to get any nastier than that. We don't need to get personal or anything like that. We don't want to be like them. And there's plenty to tear apart right here anyway. On the Indiegogo campaign, they also provided an update. The update reads the same thing. I'm only saying this once. Everyone in the comics industry who had been new to Dynamite Entertainment is supporting Comicsgate needs to stop with the back channel blind eye, fence-sitting bullshit because of associations with Nick Barucci or checks from this publisher. The woman, BIPOC, and LGBTQA in the comics who they target do not get to choose. We've been harassed, threatened, and doxxed. And because of all these MFers who Dynamite is now blatantly promoting because of no backlash yet, Breonna Taylor does not provide any proof. So Breonna Taylor went on a little, y'all are making effing declarations to not be sexual predators, blacking out your effing profile pics, but too many of you know for a fact that Nick Barucci is working to legitimize a hate group. So Nick bent the knee to this, and all you have to do is turn off Twitter. You really don't. I know all of you are asking, who is Breonna Taylor? A nobody. An absolute nobody. Gail Simone says, here's the thing. I'm not being silent for career reasons. I'm not being silent at all. I'm taking a minute to process something personally very disappointing and sad. If I'm not doing that in your time, don't know what to say. She's a writer, and she forgot to put, I just wanted to point that out. Yeah, man, she goes on and on and on, and Mark Russell, another nobody. in the comic book industry. All of these people will be running to Indiegogo sooner than later because they're jobless. Tom pointed it out in a live stream yesterday. I'm not going to pull it up, but Red Sonja, Vampirella, they sell about 10 to 13,000 per issue. That's really, what's the term for it? There's a lot of variance involved in that. So those aren't true sales. Dynamite sells each comic book with 2, 3, 4 variants. So actual sales to actual people are probably like 6,000 in a country of 331 million people. It's not even worth it. I don't even know why it's worth it to have either of these things in the hopes that they might make a Vampirella or Red Sonja movie. Nick, if they make a Vampirella and Red Sonja movie, they will be wearing gray jumpsuits and fighting the patriarchy, and it'll make $5. And I don't think you would get a piece of that anyway. The question was asked, was there some boys' involvement? Were there other licensees that were threatening to leave? I don't know. I imagine that could be a possibility. But we're going to go to Twitter. There's the tweet. All right, I want you to look at this ratio, by the way. Hang on, let's get to it. It is right there. 1,000 comments, 271 likes. And this is their home turf, by the way. This is the home turf of the Whisper Networks, of the NPCs. But see, once their business is done, they out, Nick. Do you see them supporting you right here? Going, good, awesome. Nope. Yep. Miss Fury is unfortunately going to suffer from this. But yeah, everybody's there's Scott. What's up, Sporkin News? We got Doomcock, Lord Baronafred, Drunk 3PO, US Dutch Kitty, Quarter Black Garrett, Matthew Kadish. Yeah, Yellow Flash. I'm seeing a lot of people who probably would have bought the book. I mean, I'm seeing everybody who would have bought the book, and I'm not seeing anybody who wouldn't have bought the book. Oh, well. What sucks is there is a campaign that I can't contribute now. I'm not saying don't. If you have, I know it's up to you. I wouldn't ask for a refund because poor Billy Tucci didn't ask for any of this. I like Billy Tucci, and I thought this book was looking pretty good. I was going to support it. Not anymore. So we got Frank Cho's cover. This is a professional artist who Marvel hired for years to do covers. Was very, very popular in the mid-aughts. He's kind of an a-hole in real life. I've had a very bad experience with this dude at a Comic-Con. But I won't hold it against him. Maybe he was having a bad day. But he's come out, against those of us who criticize things on Twitter. So remember, Anna's cover made $50,000, right? $50,000. Anna, that Star Wars girl. Oh, no. Oh, no. How is it under review? And it's not accepting contributions. What? I honestly didn't know this was going to happen. Right. Oh, here, let me see if you guys can see this or not. Uh-oh. Did they not stop with Cecil? There you go. So it was at $3,000 when I checked this morning. So this happened in the last hour. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Frank Cho's cover was wasn't making very money, and maybe he was making a lot of money. He was getting a little embarrassed. Frank Cho's Red Sonja limited cover is under review and is not accepting contributions. Did he rip it off from somebody? Did he rip off the pose? I have so many questions. Did he trace from somebody else's work? Well, all I know is the professional comic artist got his ass handed to him by that Star Wars girl. And Cecil was handing his ass to him too. In a couple of days, he had 3 times as much money. So the big star comic artists, maybe Frank Cho can go back to dentistry. At least he's got a skill. He can go back to being a dentist. I would highly recommend Tamara Bonvillain and Kelly Sue DeConnick and what's-her-face, who was trying to cancel Cecil. Vocational school is a real thing. Like, you can go in, you could study to be a mechanic. You can make some pretty good money, but you do have to work. You can't spend your time on Twitter trying to cancel your fellow employees. I'm sorry to say that. Wow. Frank Cho canceled. I want to know what happened. This is what Dynamite says about Frank Cho. A top-tier Frank Cho cover just isn't quite the same without the impeccable colors of Sebastian Rich. I don't know. I mean, it's not going to happen now. There it was. I mean, Frank Cho's a good artist. But apparently, he's not very popular anymore. I hope Billy's... What? Oh, no. What the hell's going on? Did something go down? Here, Lady Greymaster. What the fuck? Is everything gone down on Dynamite? Did I not know about this? This is a big surprise to me, folks. That sucks. I'm not happy about this. That is not cool. If they pulled this from Billy Tucci, that's fucking not cool. This Miss Fury thing was kind of cool. I liked it. I didn't back it. I was going to. I'm glad I dragged my feet on everything, and that's why I didn't respond to Dynamite. Had reached out to me in February, and I had been kind of slow. I talked to Jeremy. I talked to my wife. My wife said no. Like, initially, she just said straight up no. I talked to Jeremy. I talked to Az about it, and I was like, maybe. Might be kind of fun. I wasn't aware of the Reddit thing. Was made aware of the Reddit thing, and then the Cecil thing, and I was like, fuck no. Okay, so listen, this is why we have the best producer on the planet, Lady Gravemaster. According to Bounding, all IGG Dynamite campaigns are under review. Whoa. Okay, we're going to Bounding. And thank you, Lady Gravemaster, and good on John fucking Trent. Holy shit balls. Why? Oh, that's what he just said. The article's not up yet. Okay. So apparently all Indiegogos are under review. That sucks for Billy Tucci. I'm wondering if Indiegogo had a problem with it. I'm wondering if Indiegogo got mad that Cecil got canceled. I think that would be kind of awesome if that happened. I'm not going to get my hopes up. It's a corporation, and I think it's based here. Is it based here in my city? I don't know. But if that's the case, that's good. But let's not get excited. I got too excited about Dynamite, and I don't want to get burned again. But fuck this shit. I'm so tired of all of this. A bunch of fucking nobodies on Twitter have all the power of the comic book industry. So why don't we defund the comic book industry? Depower it. I know some of you are entrenched fans. Believe me, I'm there with you. I was a completist. I wasn't lying when I put up my tweet. I have over 20,000 Dynamite comics in my collection. I don't talk about the size of my collection because a man does not talk about the size of his collection. Okay. You just don't. A man who has to talk about the size of his collection all the time probably doesn't have a very big collection, if you know what I'm saying. So, but I have 20,000 Dynamite comic books. I am a variant completist. So I have every variant boys cover. I have every variant freaking Game of Thrones cover. I have Vampirilla covers and Red Sonja cover. I have all kinds of shit from Dynamite. Boxes and boxes and boxes. And I'm a Dynamic Forces collector, okay, which Dynamite spawned out of, and Dynamic Forces was signed comic books. I have 4,000 of those. No more. No more. Nada. Done. It's very easy to walk away from it now when I see shit like this. When I see what happened to my friend Cecil, who did nothing to anyone. You know what? He might have gone after a couple people online. So what? They got into a little spat, and they both were guilty of doing some shit. So what? If that's going to hurt somebody's feelings, don't buy the book. But comic industry, I want to ask you, Breonna Taylor. Is that Breonna? Breonna Taylor, murderers must go to jail. Breonna Taylor, who has to state obvious statements like, drink water and murderers need to go to jail on her Twitter, has all the power in the comic book industry right now. I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want anything to do with it. And you know what? More and more shops, it's not a big number. I wish it was a bigger number. Don't want anything to do with it either. And quite frankly, new releases. Have you seen the new release section in your local shop outside of freaking Midtown Comics, which is huge? Here in San Rafael, Blue Moon Comics, it's about this wide and this tall. That's your new release section. Mine used to be across the wall in my store. It was called the Wall of Wonder. That's where I got the name for the Walls of Wonder. My shop here, I can even show you. No, maybe I can't. I don't know if I kept a picture or not. I don't think I did. Yeah, Breonna Taylor could go on Indiegogo right now, and I doubt she would fund even at the if $500 was the minimum. I doubt she would fund shit unless she got her mom to do it or she funded herself. And I don't know if she or he. I don't know what it is. If I'm missing some pronouns, I don't really give a shit. No, Dynamite, you have been canceled. Very interesting. Comic books have been part of my life since I was 5. Doctor Who, Star Trek, at varying different times have been in my life since I was 12. So I was 10. And watching these things get torn apart for what's essentially a trend that will be over in a few years, but it's going to lay waste to absolutely everything. And that's its goal. It doesn't want to change anything. If it can't change it to what they want, they'd rather not have it. That's the philosophy at Doctor Who with the BBC. We either change Doctor Who into what we want, into propaganda, or fuck it. It doesn't need to exist. And the same goes for comics. You want to see what your garden variety average comic book is, go watch Comics Matter with your boy Zax. I think it's his latest video reviewing Spider-Woman 2. It's awful. It's awful. And that's the best they had to offer. And it was a big #1 issue with a bunch of variants, and they pad these numbers. That was the word I was looking for earlier. Dynamite is the worst at it. I mean, we could call out Dynamite is absolutely the worst at padding comic books. Go look up on eBay how many variants there are for a Game of Thrones issue, for any random Game of Thrones issue. 5, 6 minimum. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So Nick, I'm guessing Nick was a collector. Because, I mean, he knows how to play to the collector, and I get that. Dude, the collector, Nick, is more like me and the people in these chats, and not like a collector doesn't hang out on Twitter all day and cancel people. A collector hangs out on eBay all day looking for variants and comics all freaking day. That's the customer you just alienated. And we're going to let everybody know who we can. And you guys can make your own decision. Again, I'm not saying cancel Dynamite Comics. I wish they would reverse this decision. And that's what I put in my email. Nothing personal against the guy who reached out to me. I just said, I'm sorry. Your boss just made a real bad decision with Cecil, and I can't do any business with you guys until you reconsider. And then, it's probably too late. I was giving him 24 hours, and it's not going to happen. So screw that. Problem being, vote Hartnell at Knoll, timeless child winning. I don't know what you're referring to. Is there a vote right now going on? I need context to that. Problem being. Sporking News Podcast. Hail, Gary. How do you feel about Dynamite also funding the bail for looters and rioters through Gail Simone? Once you bend the knee, you let the SJWs in, you lose. Yeah, I don't feel good about it. I don't know if Gail's pressured Nick into do it, but Nick made the donation, so no, I am not cool with it at all. And I needed more information. So when I first got it, by the way, Sporking News, I saw Stephen Walton's video on this subject, and I'll just say, I have been talking about it. I've been talking about it for a week. So maybe I watch more of your live streams than you watch of mine, which is cool, but I watch all your stuff. I do, because I like it. So I have been talking about it, and what I said was I need more information because somebody emailed me a screen grab of a Reddit post. So to give you some context, there are people out there constantly sending out fake shit, trying to get us. That's why I don't talk about rumors for the most part, unless I talk to somebody, unless I physically, or on the phone, hear a voice, not a DM, a voice. And there are YouTubers who have stated publicly that they're trying to hurt our credibility because we don't like Star Trek, by the way. So I am skeptical anyway, by nature, of any of that shit I see. No, nothing personal. I just need to double check it and make sure it's legit. I got more information on it, and I haven't done any business with Dynamite, so I'm not worried about it. The last comic book I shouted out was Anna's from Dynamite. Brianna Taylor's isn't the name. It's Kwanzer's account, running the account. Okay. I know who Kwanzer is. So he's running that account, but it's not his name. Okay. I know who Kwanzer is. He wrote a shitty Captain America book. He's also a Marxist. So, Smarter Effect for $4.99. Gary, you are right. There is plenty of entertainment to catch up with before it all started to sour in 2016. The backlog is real. The backlog is huge. It's fucking huge. I was a Marvel collector all my life, so I have a massive collection of Marvel Silver Age, but I have a huge hole in DC Silver Age and Bronze Age. Well, I'll be reading that the rest of my life. That's what I've been reading. I'm a DC guy now. I'm completely turned off to Marvel. The only Marvel comics I read are old Daredevil, old X-Men, and old Fantastic Four. I'm completely turned off to Spider-Man, everything else, because of what Marvel creatives have done. Lifelong fan, by the way. Gray Ghost for $20. Hail. And by the way, it's not what they've said about the Orange Man. It's about what they've said to people who support the Orange Man or people who just don't hate people who support the Orange Man. Hail, after 20-year hiatus and prompted by the lockdown, you as Just Some Guy and Ripa have me into comics again, starting with Adams O'Neil Batman, perfect way to start, 1971 run. Want Cyberfrog, but noob here trying to figure the EVS Yahtzee allegations. Well, you're going to look for a long time because they don't exist. They come from a Comic-Con sketchbook that he did. And they decided to extrapolate a rumor out of that so they could help cancel him because, Ethan, working with Ethan, I would imagine he didn't take their shit, and they probably didn't like the fact that he didn't take their shit. Ethan is a personality, And sometimes personalities like that do much better on their own. Listen, I'm the same way. I have very hard time working in the corporate structure. I'm just not made for it at all. Not saying Ethan wasn't, because he did it for years and years and years. But I would understand why he wouldn't want to work in that structure anymore. It's insane. It's stupid. It's filled with Karens. Thank you, Gray Ghost. Bweezy Bird for $4.99. Hey, Gary, hope you enjoy my packages to your P.O. Box today or tomorrow, and my Amazon Prime recommendation, Vineland Saga. Cool. Thank you. Thank you, Bweezy Bird. I will get to my P.O. Box probably today. I have an Amazon influencer page. I'm sorry. I cringe when I say that. It's only there. You don't have to buy anything, but anytime I recommend something, it goes on that page. So when I talk about mics or a movie I like or something like that, you can find it there. I haven't updated it in about a week, but all the stuff I like is up there. It's one place to go. Destiny Captain for $4.99. Gary, have you heard of the Silence of Life Blade Runner band film? It dropped today. I sent you a link on Twitter. It's pretty great. I will check it out. I've never heard of it. The Silence of Life Blade Runner fan film. Brilliant. I will check it out. Fat Steven Seagal beat up Ryan Johnson's Twitter for 2 Canadian pesos. Hail and positive vibes, Gary. Chat and stand tall. We will. We will always stand tall. We do not kneel. Not like Nick. That was quick. They made quick work of Nick, and it was sad to see. I can't imagine he's having a good time right now. He's getting a bunch of shit from me. He got a bunch of shit from Doomcock and me last night. He had 3 live streams going about him last night. He's got another one going today. I can't imagine. It's great. But here's the deal, Nick. We're disappointed. I don't hate you. I don't hate your company. I thoroughly dislike the people who you listen to. And I hate the culture in comic books right now. But you know what? Have at it. It's all yours. Go for it. I'm the kind of customer you want. Before I bought my comic shop, I used to go to a comic shop. And when I told Marilyn at On Comic Ground I was leaving, she cried. Why? Because that was a lot of money. I paid a lot of money. And there was a lot of people like me who like comic books and like variants and would pay like crazy for them. Cecil's cover would have hit $100,000. I have no doubt Cecil's cover would have hit $100,000. It's going to take you 50 Frank Cho covers to do that. And you put Anna in a bad position and Billy Tucci in a bad position. For Gail Simone, how much money does Gail make you? She can't make you any money. Gail doesn't make money for people anymore. She gets hired because she's a woman and she's associated with some average comic books. But please, anyone tell me, what is a classic all-timer Gail Simone story? You could tell me a pretty good one. I would imagine her early Birds of Prey work was decent. It was decent. After that, I've forgotten everything I've read from her. That's your big name. She's big name. She's big name. Scottish Nerd for $1.49. Thank you for the phallic unicorn. Adrian Nazaruk, thank you for £2. You're number one. You guys are number one. And you know what? Nick sold all y'all out. Everybody out. Nick sold fandom out yesterday. And if that's hard to hear, tough. I don't really care. I don't really care anymore. Bad Robot perpetuated violence, in my opinion, by not denouncing it, by making a political statement, by making a rushed political statement with zero nuance. And man, listen, there's a lot of things going down right now that when people look back on them in 10 years, they are going to cringe. And folks, it ain't my live streams. It's going to be the news. It's going to be a lot of films. I mean, look at how we look, just how we look back on certain things back in the 70s go, ooh, some of the stuff where we will just go, that's bad, but we don't want to cancel anybody. And the same thing, SJWs are the mullet. I know there's always going to be some dude. I love mullets. I fucking rock a mullet. Oh, yeah. Good for you. Are the Doom Squad comics good? I like the TV show. You mean the Doom Patrol? Yes, absolutely. I love the Silver and Bronze Age ones, but there's a Grant Morrison run that you can buy trades for secondhand. You go on eBay, you get to support a small business, and you don't give any money to Warner Brothers, AT&T, or DC. And they're much cheaper, Dave. Yes, so get the Grant Morrison trade paperbacks of Doom Patrol. They're great. Chew thank you for the phallic unicorn for 14 Swedish krona. Yeah, the show's pretty good. I got to say, it's pretty good. Gary, did you ever get a pizza this weekend? Scottish Nerd for £2. I did. Right when Az left, that's when my pizza was getting here. And it was freaking $70 for 2 pizzas. $70 fracking dollars. San Francisco. Won't miss it at all. Extreme Pizza charged me $70, but they were the only ones open. Fat Steven Seagal beat up Rian Johnson's Twitter as a new member. Awesome. So is Andrew Sabina. I appreciate both of you. You will get some perks. Right now, the upper levels have perks, but the lower levels going to get videos early. So that's going to be one of your perks. Fat Steven Seagal beat up Rian Johnson Twitter for £2. I think what I'm going to do for the I want to call it the lower tier, the first tier, what I'm going to do is give you guys a member stream once a month. I do on the other 2 tiers, I do a member stream once a week where it's kind of, we just talk about stuff for 2 or 3 hours. Scott McKnight, welcome to the Proto-Molecule level. The John Beck, thank you for $2. Dates and hotels for Las Vegas in December. The dates are December 9th through 13th. I will be there from December 8th to the 14th. Let me get you the location of the event. There you go. The location is, if you can read it down there, it's Caesars Forum Conference Center in Las Vegas. And it is near the Venetian. It is behind the Venetian. So you can get a place anywhere near there. I am trying to get a room inside this place. If not, then there's a bar I'm going to try to book called the Millennium Fandom Bar. And I will have information on that within the next 2 weeks. My rooms are booked. But I like to stay in like the cheaper hotels because I have come from a long line of Whiskey Tango. I like to stay in the Excalibur and Treasure Island. I don't like the hoity-toity places at all. So, that's just, because I'm never in the hotel room. So why spend a bunch of money on it? It's ridiculous. But that's where it's going to be. That's where the meetup's going to be. I don't think Las Vegas will be closed. California might, but I don't think Las Vegas will be closed. So I'm sticking with it. We will make sure we have hand sanitizer and everybody, we're going to do everything right. All right. We want you to feel safe and have fun. Most importantly, have fun, because God knows we need to have fun this year. So I think ending this garbage year in Vegas with each other will be great. And guess what? Hollywood will not be assaulting us with any of their garbage for the rest of the year, because we're not going to get anything new. They're completely fucked. They are screwed. And you know what? They did it to themselves. You know how Hollywood canceled 2020 today, basically. All right. Hollywood canceled 2020. And we'd have sympathy for them. But you know why 2020 was canceled? Hang on. 2020 was canceled because California shut down. Why is California shut down? Because a bunch of people went and were rioting and looting and protesting for weeks, rubbing all up against each other, wearing a mask, not wearing a mask, setting businesses on fire, breaking laws. Our California government did nothing to stop it. Zero. And now, again, the small businesses are suffering again. We're all locked down again. And who else is locked down? Hollywood. Hollywood, who was rooting that shit on. Karma is a bitch. We will not miss you as much as you're going to miss us. We have been entertaining ourselves just fine. I've got 50 years of Doctor Who I'm going back through. That's better than any of the shit you're going to put out this year. We got the Umbrella Academy coming in a week. That'll get me by. But as far as anything new, I don't need you. I don't need a movie this year. I don't. I really don't. It's going to suck not having a whole lot to talk about as far as entertainment. But, you know, the comic industry will keep me going for the rest of the year probably. And if not, then I'll just review old movies. I don't give a shit. I really don't care at this point. But Hollywood, you did this. You did this. And if it goes much longer, there will be no theaters to open back up into. So goodbye, billion-dollar movie. Goodbye. They're talking about releasing stuff internationally. Great. China wants to limit movies to 2 hours. I would say any answer to China at this point, to their government, should be fuck you. That's just me, but I'm not president. I don't run anything. Not the people, the government, and some of the people in the government. I want to read you one of the most, well, not one of the most. I mean, it's just it's a typical editorialized piece of crap article from Bleeding Cool. Let's read it together and have a bit of a laugh, shall we? It's about Tenet. I'll be quick. We'll be quick about this because I don't really, the information about Tenet we know, it's how she writes it, and it relates to what I was just talking about. Then we're going to get to some leftover Doctor Who stuff right after this. Because again, I'm limited. All right. Tenet has been delayed indefinitely by Warner Brothers. And another domino falls. Tenet was the movie that people have been saying could be the one to save the summer blockbuster season. It was Tenet and Mulan. Well, Mulan's not going to save this blockbuster season. Mulan could be the first movie out, and I think I don't think a lot of people are going to go to that. Maybe they will. I could be wrong. I won't go. I haven't seen the original, and I won't see the remake. That we're going to sweep in and make sure the summer of 2020 didn't completely fall apart. Well, to the surprise of pretty much no one, it's happening. According to Variety, the movie has been pulled from the release schedule instead of continuing to play this game of pushing it back a couple more weeks, which is what Warner Brothers has been doing for a little over a month now. Unlike Universal, who caught some flack for delaying movies like F9 a year out of the gate, but now look like they were ahead of the curve. It sounds like Warner Brothers might go a different model of releasing a movie. We will share a new 2020 release date imminently for Tenet. Christopher Nolan's wholly original and mind-blowing feature, said Warner Brothers chairman Toby Emmerich. Thief. He's a thief. Toby Emmerich is a straight up plagiarizing thief, in my opinion. I know things about this guy. In a statement, we are not treating Tenet like a traditional global day-to-day release, and our upcoming marketing and distributing plans will reflect that. Oh, if Toby hears I said that, there's not much he can do about it. There's not much he can do about it. If he won't, but there's not much he can do about it because then he'd have to address it, which I would love. I would absolutely love it. Tenet might be coming to theaters internationally, VOD in the U.S. So it sounds like Warner Brothers could be pursuing some sort of model where they release the movie internationally in markets where they aren't treating the beer bug pandemic like a hoax, and then perhaps release Tenet on VOD for other markets. So the reason we're all locked down, what's your name? Catalin Booth. The reason we're all locked down is because some people think it's a hoax, or was it all the protesters and rioters and looters that you were rooting on too? Because that's the answer is yes. Yes. She's not done. At the moment, Warner Brothers still has some major movies set for the release in 2020, including Wonder Woman 1984 in October and Dune in November, and no one really has any idea whether or not movies are going to be released either. At the moment, things in the United States are not looking good in terms of dealing with the beer bug pandemic, but while the domestic box office is part of the market, it isn't the entire market, and studios can't shut down movies just because the United States is being run by idiots. I mean, per state, I won't disagree with that. Like, my state is being run by an idiot who has banned hair salons, but he has perfect fucking hair. So my state's being run by an idiot, but the idiots were the people rioting and looting during this pandemic, and the mainstream media who said it was perfectly safe and it was fine. And now all the businesses are suffering. I've got a personal beef with this. I have a very personal beef. I'm going to make a video about it. I've been kind of going on and on about it in live streams. I'm not going to do that for much longer because I know you're here for pop culture and not to hear me, whine about my personal stories. Plus, we've moved on. Unlike a lot of the people on Twitter and stuff, I don't view myself as a victim. Mrs. Nerdrotic doesn't view herself as a victim. Fuck that shit. Bad circumstances, poor leadership. We didn't vote these people in office, and that's why we can sleep at night. A lot of people complaining about Gavin Newsom. Well, you voted him in office. You know what to do, but you voted him in office. So, you know what? So right now, the sentiment and the new narrative from the Access media is going to be, well, Hollywood had to lock down because of Orange Man. Well, no, don't even accept this argument at all. You can accept on the state government level, sure. California, Gavin Newsom, absolutely. Absolutely. But Hollywood too, because you were out there making it happen. It's still going on in one Western city right now as we speak, right at this moment. Those businesses are screwed. Those cities are going to look like Detroit, Minneapolis, and Portland. They're going to look like Detroit. Seattle just lost all of its flavor. It used to have such a good reputation. Not anymore. Yeah. And Hollywood's going to suffer. And I'm not sorry. I'm sorry for the caterers, the costume makers, the people who work metadata, the people who work post-production who weren't really part of this, the truck drivers. Those are the people who are going to be affected the worst. And the reason you're seeing any kind of production right now out of Hollywood, the reason you're getting animated features, you want to know who's paying for it? You are paying for it. If you're in the United States and you're in California, we're paying for Hollywood right now. Hell, we're paying Dynamite right now. We're paying Dynamite. We're paying IDW. We're paying Marvel. But you know what's going to happen? The money's going to dry up some point, and then it's going to be essential businesses getting PPP and stuff like that. I don't see Hollywood as essential. I really don't. Defund Hollywood, defund the BBC. Gonna read a couple super chats, then I'm gonna go over some Q&A from the RIP Dr. live stream. Hollywood's screwed. They did it to themselves. How long have we been saying this stuff? Years now. Just shut your pie hole. Make movies. Dance for us. Court gesture. I'm a little salty today. The John Beck for $2. Thank you again for the $2. Great job, Gary. Good luck with the move. Thank you, Roy McClurg, for $24.99. The movie's going great. Quite frankly, I've been working in here, and Mrs. Nerdrotic and the kids are doing a great job, but I will be helping soon. Flicks by Cody for $2. Hello, sir. Hello, Flicks. Thank you. Norwegian Kryptonian for 44 Norwegian krona. Hail to Grace Randolph for scoring Zack Snyder interview. Well, how hard is it? She's a big YouTuber. That can't be that hard. But yeah, hail Grace Randolph. She's all right. I don't mind her. I stopped subbing to her last year because I stopped watching her stuff, but now I watch her stuff all the time. So I probably should just commit to subbing again. Yeah, she's cool. She ran with the pretty good Star Trek rumor, but it didn't come into fruition now, did it? Star Trek did not get sold. Ace Mr. Freeze for $4.99. Can you take some time whenever about, can you talk sometime whenever about Fraken in the U.S. prison system? Fraken in the, Farrakhan. Sorry, I can't read. Okay, Ace Mr. Freeze. I'm going to start that again with my mouth using the words part. For $4.99, can you talk sometime whenever about Farrakhan in the U.S. prison system? You touched on that regarding canon, and your POV is important. Thanks. Well, yeah, I mean, it's not really for this live stream. I'll probably talk about it on the Exozone, but in my time in there, my experience, remember, I not only spent time in there, I ran meetings in the AA meetings. I was part of hospitals and institutions, H&I, and I would go in there and I would hold AA meetings in prisons and stuff. So yeah, there is some eye-opening stuff from inside America's prisons that might give context to some things that are going on. Not all. Hashtag not all. Okay? Because I don't want to paint a broad brush over a group of people. But there is something that our prisons are doing that's kind of nefarious, I would say, at the very least. Louis the Plank for $5. But yes, Ace, I will talk about it. Hail, Gary. Here is a little something towards the move. Thank you very much. Alpha Omega Records for 10 pounds. More Nerdrotic. You've been getting me through these last few days. Seeing as this stream is about who, look out for Astrid Peth, a.k.a. You Know Who, and her new music just days away. Oh, I will, Alpha Omega Records, and thank you for the 10 pounds. Hail. Zay, welcome to the Geloja level. All right, so let me clear my throat. Screw bleeding cool. I'm wondering if Bounding has an article on that yet. I'm sure they're working on it. Again, just to repeat, and we're going to Doctor Who, but just to repeat the news. Yeah, so okay, I'm going to Doctor Who, I swear. We're just going to do this real quick. Because this is breaking news. And again, hail, John F. Trent. Give him a follow on Twitter. Please subscribe to the Bounding into Comics YouTube channel. I have had them on Friday Night Tights before. He will be back on Friday Night Tights again. He's a good friend. After Dynamite Comics canceled Cecil's big cover, Dynamite Entertainment Indiegogo campaigns placed under review. After they canceled Cecil's cover, they were placed under, not only are they under, I didn't want to read that again. Sorry, I stopped halfway through. Not only are they under review, they are no longer searchable on Indiegogo. Dynamite Entertainment had a number of Indiegogo campaigns still running, including Cecil's big cover, despite them announcing that it was canceled. Other campaigns, including Billy Tucci and Maria Sinapo's upcoming Miss Fury graphic novel, it was placed under review. Billy Tucci, if you're out there, dude, I know like Ethan and all them can help you. And you probably know, but like, I will support your book outside it. You just tell me how and when, and I will support your book. I'm happy it's out of there because I would love to buy it. And I will buy all the covers and the slipcase and the freaking water bottle. I love that book. So I want to buy that book. Mindy Wheeler, who I couldn't remember her name. So I apologize, Mindy. She was doing a Vampirella cover too. She is a conservative artist who has been completely blackballed out of the industry because she's conservative. I would love to talk to her about that sometime. She seems like she's pretty cool. She's not Comicsgate. She's just a conservative artist who was basically run out because of political bigotry. Frank Cho's Red Sonja limited edition. It's no loss. The Frank Cho limited edition cover because it was only at $3,000. Dynamite's Boredom Busters was also placed under review. That Star Wars Girl Presents Vampirella was also placed. Oh no, that's not cool. Oh well. Even the Star Wars Girl Presents a New Project was placed under review. Interestingly enough, Cecil's big cover shows a different review image. It reads, "This campaign is under review and it's not accepting contributions." However, it still shows the feature image and also describes the campaign as suspended. Again, that is... what the fuck is going on? So what do we think is going on, John? Searching Vampirella only returns 2 Ethan Van Sciver Vampirella covers and Joseph M. Linsner. By the way, through Comicsgate, Vampirella was able to chart, okay? Vampirella has never charted, and it charted because they did one of these campaigns and they got shout-outs. So they've benefited greatly from that community that they basically turned their back on. Both of these campaigns were not promoted by Dynamite Entertainment. In fact, when you access Dynamite Entertainment's profile page for Indiegogo, it shows they have 0 campaigns currently running. So they're backing out completely, aren't they? Bounding Into Comics reached out to Mindy Wheeler to see if she knew why the campaign for her variant cover had been placed under review. She told us, actually, it seems all of Dynamite's Indiegogo campaigns were placed under review. I'm not sure what's going on right now. I believe that we are trying to figure it out. So we don't know anything. Please, somebody pop in the chat, or Lady Greymaster, if you find out why they're doing this, let me know as soon as possible. In the meantime, I am going to go to the Doctor Who stuff. Because there were some good questions. All right, we had a very special guest on Sunday, Philip Morris. He is the archivist. He is the guy who went and found all of those missing Doctor Who episodes. He has been instrumental to the Doctor Who fan, probably one of the most instrumental fans in the fandom, for lack of a better word. And he has been going through shit because he hashtagged RIP Doctor Who. He retweeted me. He retweeted Doomcock. And there's consequences for that. Even if you go back to the Dynamite thing, you know what? I'll show you later. But Nick Barucci super chatted me, and apparently Mags Visaggio was watching and paying attention. So hello. All right. So I want to answer some of these questions because I had to cut the live stream short, and because I was going to go on EFAP. We're going to do another one of these. There was more people I wanted to bring on, so we're going to kind of do it once a month or something. I can't set a date or anything, but I've talked to Bowles Trek and Blue Bonnet Hoovian and Noel, and we'll get Type 40 on, and Father Christopher Miller. We had a father and a rabbi on, all right, because we're about bringing people together. And you know what? I should get... oh my God, I'm blanking on his name now. Cameron on. Best Time Is Now says, humaning is hard. Also, I came from the future to look for John Connor. Do you know where I can find him? I just need to talk to him. Sure, Best Time Is Now. Heartwarming stream full of true love for what was once an amazing show. Respect to you guys and gals, and thanks beyond thanks to Phil for Enemy and Web. Yes. And Philip Morris, I've reached out to him. I want to do a one-on-one with him on this channel sooner than later. So we will do that. And that's Mad Scientist Soaps. Again, Philip Morris has been instrumental to Doctor Who. And, you know, we even saw with Peter Davison, when Peter Davison spoke out, who plays the Fifth Doctor, about Jodie's casting and what that would do, you know, because we had the loss of a male role model, which is true. They decided to remove a male role model and put in a female role model that is a role model for none, by the way. They love to trot out that, oh, little girls are into Doctor Who. Where's the evidence of this? There's no evidence of this. What I have heard from my insider, the one I talked to, the one who has access to data, has told me that they've lost a large portion of the female audience for Doctor Who, a huge portion of it. They were trying to run for a little while that there was growth. And this was BBC America who said that there was growth with younger girls. Well, there's no real data on that. So I call that bullshit. But if it was during the time that they had, I think they were at the 4th episode. It was early on in season 11. So the Access Media lies, BBC lies, they all fucking lie. They don't back up any of their statements with any real info. And they have access to all the data. What I have been told is, the entire audience has eroded, but it's still mostly men watching. The vast majority of people watching current Who are men, older men, by the way. So your intersectional feminist show is watched by 40-year-old dudes. I don't know why. That's an answer. You'll have to provide me with that answer. I can't even speculate on that. So Primark Vulcan for $9.99 says, I currently work for a streaming service that partners with HBO. And we didn't learn until the day it launched that HBO Max was not available on Roku or Fire TV. The HBO Max launch was abysmal, and it still is abysmal. They've lost a bunch of the stuff. They're coming back. Why do you think ReleaseTheAyerCut came out today? Do you think it's a coincidence that it came out today because they're losing a bunch of DC movies in the next week if they haven't lost them already? I think they've lost them already. Destiny Captain. By the way, HBO Max is the home for Doctor Who now. Nobody's going to care. HBO Max probably currently has maybe 30 million subscribers. That's a high estimate, by the way. And that's because HBO Max subscribers are not the same as HBO subscribers. They're two different things. And I think there's a lot of people out there going, why would I get HBO Max when I can't watch it on TV, but I can watch HBO on TV? We can all solve this all tomorrow. McGann is back. Destiny, we were asking during this live stream, is there a way to save Doctor Who, or is this just a wake? And it was each member of the live stream was talking passionately, and Problem Being was there too, was really giving Doctor Who their last words. Once again, if it wasn't for the beer bug, we would be entrenched in a battle that it wouldn't be as big, but it would be as mean as the battle was after The Last Jedi with Doctor Who. There's been a lot of distraction because of the pandemic, but it's still going on. What Doctor Who did was worse than what Star Wars did. It's worse than making Cap a Nazi. It's worse than Luke drinking soy milk out of a manatee titty. It's worse than Spock singing in a lift with number one and laughing. It is the worst vandalization to a popular character in the history of pop culture. Nothing short of that. Nothing short of that. They went back in time, and instead of William Hartnell being the first Doctor, and William Hartnell it's hard to explain this to our American friends who are not Doctor Who fans, but are interested. William Hartnell's a legend in the UK. Doctor Who, for the most part, it's like hot dogs to us. Okay. It's like what baseball used to be. It's like what football is right now. It is part of the culture. It is part of the DNA of the UK. So as big as Star Wars is to some, and it's the biggest franchise in the world, there are bigger Doctor Who fans for that show, passionate Doctor Who fans. Doctor Who was arguably the first fandom. Predates Star Trek. Predates Star Wars, obviously. And how can I say that? Well, kids in Australia and in the UK had their little 16 millimeter or cameras, and they had them pointed at their TV, and they were filming Doctor Who episodes with no sound and exchanging them via mail. There would be, there'd be like fans mailing Doctor Who episodes to each other, and that's how they connected, through mail. That's the first fandom. I'm sure there's a book on it somewhere that I haven't read that I need to. And if there isn't, there needs to be. Michael Ulajasic says, Father Christopher Miller, Dominus. Oh man, I'm going to mess this up. Dominus Vobiscum. Well, I don't even know what I just said. I have Latin on my hand too. Right there. To Boondock Saints, one of the greatest movies ever made. Thoughts on the defund the BBC grassroots campaign and the move to decriminalize abolishment of the TV license fee, says Cesario JPN for $5. That's probably directed at the people from the UK, but that is a real movement in the UK. It looks like Boris is going to decriminalize the license fee for the BBC. In a case you've lived under a rock and you don't know, people in the UK have to pay a license fee to watch television if their TV is plugged into the wall, and they're getting what would be the equivalent of broadcast TV. It's ridiculous. It's basically PBS. So imagine if all of your TV was public broadcasting. That's what the BBC is. And it's weird because PBS is how we were all introduced to Doctor Who over here, and Monty Python and Benny Hill and Fawlty Towers, all that shit. And Hitchhiker was through PBS. So I'm thankful for that. Defund the BBC is a real thing. It auto-completes on Twitter. It's been trending a couple of times, and we need to defund the BBC, and that's how you stop Doctor Who. And frankly, Doctor Who cannot be fixed. Marvel Comics can be fixed. I don't know if anybody would go and buy it anymore. But Doctor Who cannot be fixed. It's not a show you can reboot, and you can erase all the canon you want. You did it. People saw this. People already watched it. Same goes for Star Wars. Love my friend Doomcock. But the rumor that just came out that, listen, excited a lot of people, and I think that's the biggest story. But if there's a Lucas cut or you're erasing the trilogy, I don't think you can have a Lucas cut if you erase the trilogy. But if you have a Lucas cut or you erase the trilogy, Last Jedi still happened. Doesn't change that. So you can erase this canon all day long, and you can bring back David Tennant, and you could say you're sorry. And that would bring me back. That would bring a lot of people back, but it wouldn't bring everybody back. I've seen evidence of this. I bring it up before. Star Wars One More Day pissed every fucking Spider-Man fan off I knew. And they eventually got rid of it. And it was too little too late. Too little too late. Fans were already gone. That's how your franchise is dead. These are billion-dollar franchises, and if they're not billion-dollar franchises, they're not worth having to these huge corporations now. Even the fucking BBC needs to make money now, and we're in different times. So all of that cushion, that big old cushion of a good economy is all gone. The rabbi gave Matt Smith some love. I love Matt Smith. I'd take Matt Smith back in a hot second. Scott Kerr asks, and I thought that was a really good live stream. Actually, if you have the time, if you have like 9 hours, I know you all have 9 hours out there. I would recommend that. And the EFAP I was on with Az. It was Mahler Rags, Az, Critical Drinker, and then this idiot. So I don't know what I was doing there, but it was lots of fun. And then Friday Night Tights, which was, I didn't even mention that. So this whole Dynamite thing that's going down right now with Cecil's book getting canceled. Well, apparently that was going down on Friday. We had Ethan on as a guest. Ethan's all, yeah, I can only be on for a couple hours because I got Nick coming over for pizza. I'm all cool, because I remember Nick gave us $100 super chat. So I know he watches the show. I didn't know all this shit was going down. So Ethan came back later, and of course he couldn't say anything. It's his friend Nick. I understand. But yeah, it was just weird all that went down. But, you know, there was a lot of people giving a lot of love. I felt bad that I had to kind of cut that live stream short. And I'll go over a few more before I leave here. I did want to show you guys one thing. By the way, Bleeding Fool, love you guys. Love the Whisper campaign article. Where's the second one? Oh, hell yeah. They're doing a Wonder Woman from the 70s complete remastered Blu-ray set. Fuck yeah. I'm down. That was my my dad's favorite show. I wonder why. Where was I? Hang on a second. I just need to show you what the Whisper Network looks like. I'm going to be daily on this. I'm fucking pissed. I'm so pissed what they did to Cecil. I'm so pissed what they've done to my comic book industry. It's fucking everything up. Here it is right here. The CEO of Dynamite popped in to a CG stream to donate money. Please consider that in the future. Now, I don't know if it was Ethan's stream, but he came in and donated $100, which, and I'll give you context why he donated $100. I was telling the story of my wife's salon and what happened here after the closure, after the second closure. So if you don't know, I'll be very quick about this. Prior to the riots and looting and protesting, things were getting better. California was starting to open up. Now, San Francisco had never opened up, but it was starting to consider it. And we were on our way to opening up. And they had given the go-ahead to all the salons. Now, you can't just open up a salon. You have people booked out. My wife's salon was very busy. So she had people booked out for months. She had to get the schedule. They reworked the schedule. They had to get all the employees back. They had to scrub down the salon. They had to do a bunch of work to make it okay for it to open. And then fucking the mayor pulls the plug on it like a couple days before. Just pulls the plug on it with no end date, with no communication, no end date. All these salons put time and money into opening up. She fucked them all over. A bunch of them stayed open. Good for them. My wife decided it wasn't worth it anymore. I mean, are we just going to reopen to close again? We can't trust the politicians here. And they're already threatening people with their licenses. Yes, to work as a stylist in California, you have to be licensed in health and safety, which is stupid. That's why they shouldn't keep these people closed. They should be open at this point. And a lot of people are saying, fuck the license, and good for them. That's what I say. I mean, like, dude, we just saw people running around and burning businesses down, and they're walking around free, and you're worried about getting busted for a fucking business license? Fuck that shit. So my wife decided to shut it down. Again, I'm going to make a video about it. It's her life's work and everything. It sucked. Nick heard the story and gave $100, but they're going to use that against him. That's the kind of fucking pieces of shit we're up against, just to let you know. But they're the good guys. They're the good guys. They're the good guys who go after my wife's salon because they don't like what I say about Captain Marvel, or they don't like one of my tweets. So they go on her Facebook salon page and start posting that I'm a racist and shit like that. Yeah, these are the good guys. These are the good guys. Mm-mm. And these are the assholes who they are making Doctor Who for. These are the assholes they're making Star Trek for. And, you know, there's a point where you just go, let them fucking have it. I don't even fucking care. They can have this shit now. And it'll be gone. And then they'll complain. And they'll try to go after something else. Warhammer, I know Warhammer, they're trying to get into your community. Fight it. And you know how you fight this shit? You nip it in the bud. Stop buying it. You show the people who own these IPs who's boss. If you're complaining about it while you're buying stuff, you're not helping yourself at all. You can still buy your stuff. Go buy it secondhand. That's what I do. Been a while since I caught a live stream. Do you have a favorite go-to Venture Brothers episode? One of mine, it would be Captain Sunshine with Hank. My favorite go-to is, oh my God, I'm blanking on the name of it. Hang on. Okay, well, dude, the pilot's still fucking awesome. But hang on. I really liked, here, there's one from season 1, there's one from season 7. I can't see. Oh, yeah, that's a good thing I have that. Oh, shit. There we go. But it's the second one. It's the second one from season 1. And Home Insecurity. No, it's not Home Insecurity. It's, so Dio de los Dangeroso is the pilot episode, but Careers in Science, and then there was one, the one with Girl Hitler and Tiger Bomb, the first one with Girl Hitler and Tiger Bomb. That's my, but I don't remember the names of the episodes. But those are my go-to. I go to the Venture Brothers quite a bit. They're right at my hand, right here. One of the best shows currently on TV. But Captain Sunshine is great. We love Hank. Hey, Gary. By the way, if Scott Care, thank you for the 5 Canadian pesos. When Venture Brothers returns, I will be reviewing every single episode live. Christian Delorme for 25 Canadian pesos. Hey, Gary, 20 Canadian pesos for a Canadian trucker who uses your podcast for entertainment while driving the lonely highway. Listen, buddy, I have lots of respect for you kicking the hard drugs. I can't quit smoking. Well, dude, I haven't entirely quit smoking either. I mean, I've quit smoking cigarettes, but I partake in a vape once in a while. Kicking the hard drugs quitting smoking is the hardest thing ever, period. But quitting opiates sucks. It's not fun. Don't ever start those because quitting them sucks. I'll sponsor you with super chats and bad jokes, says Fat Steven Seagal. Beat up Rianne Johnson's Twitter for 2 Canadian pesos. I will take that. Thank you. I like bad jokes. Powerhouse 420. Thank you for the phallic unicorn. SJS Shady for 0169 for $5. Hail, Gary. Did you have a chance to watch Red Dwarf yet? I sent you thoughts. If so, hang on. I have not, because I'm waiting to finish Blake 7, and then I will be simultaneously watching Red Dwarf and Stargate. But as soon as I'm done with Blake 7 and I'm almost done, I will start it. Thank you for sending me this. Thank you. I appreciate it. I've got it in order right here on my little thing, on my Blu-ray rack. Thank you, Gary, for the Nerdrotic community. You've been an inspiration to fight back against the horrible state of entertainment. Please give a shout out to reclamationentertainment.com on Facebook page, taking submissions. All right. So it's called Reclamation Entertainment. I mean, I've never gone to this. Hey, I got to look at it before let me quickly look at it before I recommend. Nothing, no offense, but oh, okay. Yeah. Totally fine. So I'm going to put this in the chat for you. There you go. Thanks. Crazy Cat Guy. The new mic sounds good. I can finally hear you without cranking up the volume on TV. Isn't that great? And guess what? I can turn the volume up. I don't think you want me to, but yeah, this thing is bitching. It's bitching. And it sounds really good on recordings. The patrons will hear my first. I'm reading all of the sample chapters I know a bunch of people have done it. I don't think it's been done particularly well. They're not bad. I just don't think they've been done well. So I'm taking my crack at it for Patreon. So you're getting The Forsaken tonight. Now this is pod racing, says Polpatine for £5. Polpatine? I like that. John Alexson for $5. I would like to thank you for the countless hours of entertainment. I always look forward to the Friday Night Tights and the Inquisition. Much love to the Nerdrotic family, and thank you. Thank you, Starry-Eyed Girl. Yeah, Starry-Eyed Girl, Blake 7 is awesome. It's like, where has it been all my life? I feel the same way about Blake 7 as I do about Farscape. Oh, you want to hear some Farscape news? There's Farscape fans out there. Would you like to hear some good news? Are you ready for some good news? Let's do some good news, shall we? Farscape might be coming back, folks. That could be good news or could be bad news. In 5 days, there's going to be a panel at the fake San Diego Comic-Con. There's going to be a Farscape panel, and in the description for that panel, I will read you what it says. Farscape is now on Amazon Prime. There has been talk of its return. Join Farscape cast members in celebration of this epic sci-fi series. Panelists include Gigi Edgley, who is Shiana, Ricky Manning, who is the writer, Rebecca Riggs, who is Commandant Gryza, David Franklin, Lieutenant Braca, Lonnie Tupu, Captain Crace, and Paul Goddard Stark, moderated by Kirk Thatcher, Jim Henson's Creature Shop Challenge. I will repeat that. Farscape is now on Amazon Prime, and there has been talk of its return. They talked about it seriously last year. Now I have some inside dope for you. Mrs. Nerdrotic knows somebody who worked on Dark Crystal. Actually, she worked to get an interview for a while, and I kind of went, I don't know. I don't do interviews. I probably should have done it. Maybe I'll do it anyway. But the word on the street was, if Dark Crystal did well, Farscape, that could help bring back Farscape. Well, Dark Crystal did well. Nick had a chance to show conviction and boost sales and revenue doing so, but instead he displayed cowardice and may have just sank his company. Says IK906 for $5. What's up, man? Hey, you made it my Star Trek video, by the way. I think you're right. I think he did irrevocable damage. I probably didn't say that right, to his company. Doug Wright, welcome to the proto-molecule level. Gail Simone does not generate money. She does not generate clicks. She doesn't generate jack shit. She generates hate. She costs you money. She's a thug. She's a virtual thug. And to be that ugly inside, I don't know what, God, I don't want to get too personal, but to be that hateful and angry and sad, it shows. It shows. So I think years of therapy might be able to help that, but to continually go after people because she thinks she's a good guy. She thinks she's white knighting. She's helping Nick Ferrucci by getting rid of the hate group. Now, I think Comicsgate has to do some work on their brand. But they also don't need to be accepted by these people. I would say more for normies. You're never going to get accepted by Gail Simone. Why bother trying? I heard Ethan say at some point, hey, we've been largely leaving you alone. Why don't you leave us the fuck alone? Why I agree with the sentiment. Ethan knows better than most. They will never leave you guys alone. They will never leave you guys alone until you don't exist. Your existence threatens them. Gail Simone is threatened, So the first chance they got to take out somebody, they did it. If I did a cover with Dynamite, they wouldn't have gone after me. No, they went after Cecil because of his associations. I doubt they would have said a word. In a way, though, and Cecil's not going to like this answer, I think it's good. I think it's good because it brought a couple things to light. And again, I was aware of the Reddit donation. And I'll say now what I said then. I don't agree with the donation to an organization that bails out people who are complicit in probably burning down comic shops that sell your stuff. I'm totally against that shit. We just don't want to be them. I don't want to be somebody going through Reddit and looking for a donation or a skeleton in somebody's closet, or I don't. But that's probably going to get done anyway. Just because I don't want it to happen doesn't mean it's not going to happen. There's going to be a point where people are going to start looking at the skeletons in your closet, Gail Simone and others, and you would have brought it on yourself. You would have brought it on yourself. And Nick, if you didn't say anything, it would have gone fucking the same with Last of Us. How many times we got to say this shit? You guys bring attention on, you do the worst damage to yourselves by just being dumb. Ethan had talked to Nick that night and told him not to do anything, and he did the opposite. So he talked to Ethan, and then he probably talked to whoever owns freaking Red Sonja or somebody in control, or Gail Simone, and he's regretting that decision. And they're trying to tweet their way out of it right now, and they can't. They can't. They're trying to post up other tweets. As a matter of fact, let's go over there real quick. But here's the rub. Here's the rub. I know what the Fandom Menace has been labeled not as bad as Comicsgate. And Comicsgate has been labeled poorly. Some of it's their own. They did it to themselves. Some of it they didn't. I don't judge a hashtag over the, if individuals do something, I will judge the individual based on the action. I'm not going to judge the whole group, but that's what happens. Just that's what they do. They do to us. So if one of us, like a couple nights ago over the Doctor Who thing, there was a pretty nasty quote put out. I was made aware of it. I don't get involved in that shit generally, but it was nasty. It's something I completely disavow. We're not about that at all, but there's going to be people out there who put those quotes up. It's going to be put on all of us. It's going to be put on all of us. So just keep that in mind. Not telling you not to, just keep that in mind. If you go after somebody over their looks, or if they're, I don't know, handicapped in a wheelchair, that's going to reflect on everybody when you do that. And I can't be around that shit. Sorry. You can insult somebody all you want on their ability to write, on the fact that they're part of cancel culture, but never go after people's looks. Just don't. But I will be having hopefully a private conversation with that person and find out what the fuck were they thinking. But that's neither here nor there. We're going to go back to Dynamite. And wow, that ratio is bad. So let's see if Dynamite said anything about all of their books being shut down by Indiegogo. Not a word. Not a word. I wonder if Ethan knows anything. Nope. Nobody knows anything. Does Indiegogo know anything? It's a big mystery. Nope. Interesting. All right. Brian Christgau for $2. Would you be open to reviewing some CG books? Yeah. On a live stream? Sure. I mean, because those are the only new comics I'll be reading, Brian. Because I'm not reading any new ones from anyone else. Casey Osowski for $10. After seeing what Dynamite and Twitter are doing, I'm sorry, but maybe it's time for both of them to just go away. Love you, man. Yeah. Twitter will be going away for me by the end of the year. I'll leave it up for notifications, but maybe not even that. I am on Parler, so if you want to follow me on Parler and join up there, it does have its restrictions too. There's no boobies. I personally don't care about that. But some people do. And maybe they don't enforce it, but this is my Parler account. At least I think that is. I hope I put the right link up. But yeah, Twitter and I'm done with Dynamite. I'm not going to buy it. I don't care. There's a new boys book I wanted to buy. Not buying it now. And again, I'm in Dynamite Comics. But no more. Sup, Gary? About Doctor Who. I've been watching since John Pertwee's Who. As I'm a fan of his time on the show. Also, William Hartnell is the first Doctor, and no one can ever take that away from him. And no, they can't. Jay Handover, they can't. For $10. It's disgusting that they tried. It's disgusting that they did it at the BBC, and the BBC shamed his legacy. They're really into shaming. That's what this whole thing is about. Punishment and shaming. This isn't about writing better stories or bringing new people in. This is about white people using marginalized people to punish other white people. That's what this is about. Extreme Pizza is good, but Goat Hill is better. Brandon Dijon for $3.99. I'm not going to, it's way better. It's way better. Norwegian Kryptonian for 22 Norwegian krona. What the F happened to Anna's Vampirella Indiegogo? They nuked it over this bullshit. And it wasn't Anna's fault, you know? Sorry, I'm fixing my One Ring here. I don't know if you can see it or not. But, I'll put Q back up in a second. Well, next live stream, but here, if you can see the One Ring on a doll hand I found at an AA meeting one time. Oh, Jane Theory's here for $5. We love Jane Theory. Please subscribe to her channel. She's going to be on Wins a Winner with Scott later, right? At one, it's 4:15. I'm going to try to jump on for a little bit, but I got to record a video today. I got to record 2 videos today. I hope the affected creators are on the phone with their lawyers ASAP. Dynamite should see lawsuits in the future. Yes, they should, Jane. Cecil's a cool dude. So he said he's just going to let it go. He understands Nick's position, and Cecil's being a gentleman about it. And I admire that. And that makes it easier for me to go after Nick, because I don't know Nick. I don't know him. I mean, I've maybe talked to him at a con, but I know him through Ethan. I know him through Derek Robertson. I know a lot about Nick. But you know, I'm sure he's a decent guy, but there's a time when decent men have to fight, when decent men have to stand up and fight for what's right. And despite what Gail Simone tells you, is Gail Simone one of the good guys? Do good guys intimidate and shame people for kicks? Do good guys intimidate and shame people and lie to keep her job, to keep herself employed, and to hide her utter laziness and lack of talent? Do good people do that? What you've seen Gail Simone do just in public, what she did to that editor at DC that Ethan told us about. Do good people do that? Is that the actions of a good person? If Gail Simone was in recovery, I would tell her she's in relapse. And to go to 90 and 90 and talk to her sponsor. Because good people don't do that. Kenny Jones, welcome to the Gandalf level. You get a member stream this Saturday at noon. And Gandalf is going to have, it's going to go to 6 member streams a month for Gandalf level. Slice of Life is the Blade Runner fan film. Slice of Life. Thank you, J-Lo Flicks. Gotcha. Maybe I read it wrong. Sorry. Doc Scott for $1.99. Bowling Green, Ohio, Cinemark closed forever. Sad. That sucks. Yeah, I bet you the theater that I go to here in Daly City, it's done. There's no way they're fucking done. I watched Odin's video today prior to going live. He said that he thinks that theaters are going to start closing. By the way, Odin is my co-host at Friday Night Tights. He used to watch my show. I don't know if he does anymore, but we love you, Odin. What's up, Rob? Gail Simone is not good. Is she a guy? Well, the jury is still out on that, I'm afraid. Well, yes. Yeah, she's not good, Rob. She's not good. And Starry-Eyed Girl, thank you for being here with your wrench. I appreciate that. What's up, Kai MFS? How you doing, man? Hey, I saw you on a live stream, Kai. You look just like your avatar. I like it. Digi Akuma for $5. I wonder to myself, I was about to sing a Nina Hagen song, but I did all my singing last night with California Uberalis, which I'd really love to end the stream with. I might. I wonder to myself if this still would have happened without the pandemic, and if it still did, would it have been different? With Doctor Who or Dynamite? Dynamite, this would have still happened with the pandemic. I would say yes, it would have still happened without the pandemic. They still would have tried to cancel Cecil. They were canceling Cecil no matter what. Freaking Gail Simone's, like, she could actually start catching on fire from spontaneous combustion, and she would still cancel Cecil before she burned out. SJ Almighty says, wait for it. Oh, I like that sticker. Thank you, SJ Almighty, for $1.99. Spectre Von Baron for $2. Have you seen the Validate dating sim Kickstarter? No. What? I mean, fuck Kickstarter for one. Do I want to see this? I don't see it. There it is. What? I don't know what this is yet. Hang on. You're looking at my Twitter. That doesn't help. All right. This is a Kickstarter for a comic. Validate. Struggling singles in your area. Visual novel. 12 struggling singles in your area. Do we want to play this? I mean, it looks like San Francisco. Is that San Diego? No, it's not San. Was that San Diego? I can't. I need to stop now. Validate is a visual novel, which which you maneuver yourself through the twisting paths of young adulthood. So it's set in Jersey. Jersey? Set in the Jersey City area. Jersey? Did you think they meant Jersey and they didn't fix it on their Kickstarter? Set in the Jersey City area, 12 struggling singles in their 20s navigate through the trying ordeals of capitalism to Oh, God. I'm fucking cringing to death. That one snuck up on me. Let's try this again. Sorry. What is Validate? Validate is a visual novel in which you maneuver yourself through the twisting paths of young adulthood. Set in the Jersey City area, 12 struggling singles in their 20s navigate through the trying ordeals of capitalism to find meaning in their lives, including a hint of love, cosplay, and even mediocre mixtapes in the mix. With 12 playable characters and over 30 routes to choose from, there will be about 20 to 30 hours of content depending on how you pay it. We don't know if you're able to read fast or not, whether your decisions are good or bad. It's just tremendously shitty. You're going to have a great time falling in or out of love with these characters. Story. The sun shines out over a cold Jersey City day. The wind isn't blowing as hard as she is. No, as hard as it usually does. But you still find yourself hugging your coat a bit closer to your body to shield yourself from the cold. Hurrying yourself along, you duck into a hair salon. Your friend pointing to you says, your friend pointed you towards, and the warmth of a space heater fills your body the moment you step in. I want to kill myself. I've never wanted to kill myself until I started reading this. It's got 727 backers for $20,000. $20,000. Who backed this? Oh, shit. I should make up some dumb game. We should just make up a game cancel culture. And we could just really try to cancel people. That's what they do. I don't know. No, it's a terrible idea. Fuck that idea. This is fucking horrible. Thank you for giving me a super chat and showing me this thing that I will never show on this channel again. I apologize to all of my audience. I've just probably lost a bunch of subs on that. By the way, please subscribe. There's a lot of people out there who haven't subscribed. Please consider subscribing to the channel. YouTube is once again doing their bot cleansing, old account cleanse. There's a lot of collateral damage, so please make sure you are still subscribed. Hit that bell. Thank you very much. Please subscribe to all of my co-hosts on Friday Night Tights as Odin, Comics Division, Jeremy, Geeks and Gamers, and Doomcock. And Tom, Midnight's Edge. Fuck, that was terrible. But not surprising. All right. Whoops. Oh, get this out of my face. Wama Master for $10. The SJW movement is a legacy in legacy IPs equals stolen valor. They want their new characters to have the valor that was earned by the likes of Luke wearing the uniform without earning it. Disgusting. Stolen valor. What a great, I'm going to use that from now on, dude. That's straight up what it is. It's stolen valor. It's like pretending you're a vet. Stolen valor. That's what like the second part of the Fandom Menace, author Stephen Walton. That's what the second volume should be called. Stolen valor. Gary, do you think The Last Ronin will be a good comic? And will there ever be a good Ninja Turtle movie again? No. And no, right now. I'm pretty down on everything. I would say if entertainment turns around, if Last Ronin if anything was going to go into production 5 years ago, I would say yes. Prior to 2016 now, no. Enjoy your stuff in the source material. That's where it's pure. That's where it comes from. That's where it should stay. I think we've all learned now the hard lesson that the MCU is not worth losing the comic industry for, but that's what you did. Because in 10 years, you're going to look back on the MCU. I'm going to look back on the MCU, and we're going to like see it for what it is. A lot of mediocre movies that we enjoyed, you know, with like maybe 2 or 3 great ones. And it'll never be equaled. It'll never be equaled. But quite frankly, I am more excited for the Snyder Cut than any Marvel movie. And I'm not shitting you. I wasn't a big rah release the Snyder Cut guy. I can take it or leave it. I kind of think Zach should get it, or should get his movie, because I know he got screwed over. I'm more rooting for him as a person and then his movie, because he had to go through the loss of his daughter. Then Warner Brothers pissed on him while he was going through that. So that's the part I got mad. I've been mad all along about that. So I'm glad they did him right. But I'm being honest with you. I'm more of a DC guy now. Marvel does not excite me. I would be excited about the Eternals if I knew it was being directed by somebody who actually knew who the fuck Jack Kirby was. I'd be excited about the New Gods. Oh my God, I'd be excited. But Ava DuChenray or whatever her name is directing it. Nah, no way. No way. Mixed signals we get from Warner Brothers. You know, Tom King is writing it, so they're all going to be sitting down contemplating suicide, just like we were doing while we were watching that. Golden Bream, thank you for the membership at the Joloja level. Any opinion on BF Big Finish delaying the Lovecraft invasion? John Smith for $2. Well, you know why they're delaying it. Because Lovecraft is a racist, or was. He's dead. He wasn't a racist all his life, I believe. And so what? Are we going to judge everybody on everything? Lovecraft was a sick fuck. That's why he wrote like really sick stories that are great, that will stand the test of time. Because he was a sick dude. Are we going to start judging? I mean, like, if Lovecraft, I don't know, was a P to the E to the D to the O, I wouldn't read his shit. But that's it. I mean, like, people are of their time. I wouldn't hang out with the guy. He's dead. Have you looked into Wheel of Time, Lord of the Rings successor, says Tim Criddle for $4. I have tried it many times. And it's been a while though, and I'll probably give it a shot eventually. And you know what'll happen, Tim? I'll get into it and I'm going to go, what took me so long? It's just when I'm ready, you know. Sometimes I'm late on stuff. To the guy wanting Doom Patrol comics, John Bird did a 17-issue run that is Shakespeare, it's Shakespeare. It's not, that isn't Shakespeare, but it's fun. Mark C for $5. Yes, I have that run. I would recommend Grant Morrison's first, because it's more in line with the show. But I love John Byrne. Mark C, you know I love John Byrne. John Byrne, right? I mean, we have a guy almost damn near Kirby, damn near equal to Kirby, still alive, that gets ignored. His name is John Byrne. He's a fucking legend. He goes right up there with all, I mean, if there's a Mount Rushmore, can we do a Mount Rushmore? There's Stan Lee, Jack Kirby. There'll be a few other names, but I would put John Byrne up there for sure. Absolutely. John Byrne, to me, I mean, I love Frank Miller. But John Byrne is bigger to me than Frank Miller. Just is. Frank Miller's done more, I don't know. Has he done more seminal work? No, I don't think so. I think they're equals on like what they've done in the industry. But Byrne just did it longer. And poor Frank, I don't know what's going. Frank Miller has a lot of demons. Culture Casino, thank you for the phallic unicorn for 99 cents. Chris Stanley, thank you for the $3, and you rock too. Chris Stanley says, taking a chance on Dynamite was worth it. Got to spread CG to the masses. That's a great way to put it, Chris. It was worth the risk. We can't not take risks. I talked about this yesterday on the Exozone. I can't say I completely understand. I'm going to look it up so I completely understand it. But the whole black pill shit, people have been asking me about this for a while. All right. So just so I know I get the context right, from the Urban Dictionary, the term is given to a negative notion as it is often associated with the incel or doomer communities. However, one doesn't need to be a part of either to become black-pilled. A state of mind brought upon by the realization of harsh truths, seeing reality, society, for what it truly is beyond the illusion of equality, who are led to believe it is the understanding that life is ultimately unfair and that winners and losers are determined for the most part by circumstances beyond anyone's control, looks, wealth, mental condition, height, race, family, luck, etc. The despair that arises from taking in the black pill can be crippling and might drive some to the brink of insanity. Thus the expression cope or rope. Ooh. However, it is also a necessary stage in reaching enlightenment when paired with the white pill. That's some crazy shit. So I think you can have a basic understanding of life that it's not fair. I do. But yet I can still look at things as unfair as life is. Life is still mostly beautiful. And you know what? You can look out and look at a trash dump and say that looks shitty, but it could be surrounded. I mean, even in this urban area, right? There's still beautiful gardens. There's still a lake. So yeah, I'm not going to go full black pill, but with entertainment, black pilling with entertainment, I think is bad. So I think, Chris Stanley, you're right. You have to try these things. I hear a lot. I hear this from other YouTubers that I don't want to take a chance on this series because it might disappoint me. You're a fucking YouTuber. You need to review things. You need to watch stuff. Yeah, we're going to get disappointed a lot. And even when stuff was better, we were going to get disappointed. That's not a reason to not watch something. You still experience it. Even when something's shitty, I get something out of it. I get something out of Star Trek Discovery. I know what I'm going to get when I watch it. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to delude myself, but I still get something out. I get interaction with you guys. It's something to do. It's not wasted. Nothing's wasted. Usually time is wasted complaining about things you have no control over, but you can still speak your mind. It's a big difference. You can critique a show. You are accomplishing something by critiquing a show. That is an accomplishment. That's not just complaining for complaining's sake, especially if you're a content creator. But even if you're, just in the chat and you're recommending something, you're saving somebody else from the show. Or maybe somebody doesn't like you and they're going to watch the show and be turned on to it just because they don't like you. I mean, shit, that happens to me all the time. So, you don't want to be that way. Or I don't want to be that way. Sorry, don't mean to should you guys. James Zabirski for $2.99 Australian gives us a thumbs up. JPR page 1. Thank you for the phallic unicorn for $1. And Karis for $5. Hail, Gary. Cool, Mike. Sounds great. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Powerhouse 420 for $2. My Dynamite covers for Fraga's Red Sonja just came. They did? Well, keep them. I mean, don't return them. It's Dan Fraga's work. You know what? It's just at this point, don't give him any more money. I don't recommend. I mean, it's up to you. I'm not going to tell you what to do because honestly, it would be a case-by-case basis. If it was Billy Tucci's, I probably wouldn't. If I backed Anna's book, I'm not going to ask for my money back on that. I think it already got sent or whatever, but I paid $175 to back Anna's book. So, yeah. A peppermint oil capsule for £2. But I mean, I backed it because, Anna's friend. So she's on YouTube. So I'm going to back her. Wait. I know I promised something. Hang on. Where's Fatal J? Fatal J, are you out there? Fatal J has an Indiegogo. Did he give me the title? Okay. All right, so Fatal J is, he's a YouTuber. I love Fatal J. He's a member of the Dark Council, which is live stream. It's got Abu Nas and others. Drunk 3PO is part of that group too. These are all good guys. He's doing a comic called Ninja Blast, and I think it's on Indiegogo now. I don't have a link, so you can give it a search out. Fatal J's just a good guy, so I wanted to give him a shout out. And he's been a supporter of this channel and a member of the Phantom Menace. He uses the hashtag the Phantom Menace, and again, he's just a good guy. So go check it out. So it's called Ninja Blast. Ninja Blast. I promised I'd shout it out. Peppermint oil capsule for £2. Kirk Thatcher was the punk rocker in Star Trek 4. Kirk Thatcher was he the punk rocker? There you go. In Star Trek 4 in San Francisco. Miss Fury and Anna's Vampirella cover campaigns are back up again. Thank you, McKinney90 for $5. I appreciate that. And that's good. That's good. You know what sucks though is I think those campaigns both got hurt like badly yesterday. Let's be real about it. How many of you guys and gals are done with Dynamite? Just fucking done. I saw nothing but that last night. I was doing an Inquisition live stream with Doomcock. We were both fucking on a tear, by the way. Hopefully, I think the link is still available on his Twitter. I don't know when he's going to upload it on the Harvey channel, but I'll reshare the link later. It was one of our best fucking shows. Seriously. And we were both kind of pissed off about this whole thing. And everybody in the chat was saying, I'm done with Dynamite. Like, that's it. And it's going to screw over Billy Tucci. It's going to screw over Anna. And again, those are the vocal people. We're not even counting the people who just walked away and aren't going to say anything. God, how many times do I have to say that? That's the most money walking away. And that's money you'll never know you'll had. And you know what? Fuck. I was going to do something. I finally was like, fine, I'll do a sponsorship. I was going to try to do a cover with the boys or something because I'm in a boys comic, but now I'm not. I was looking to find something to help with the move, but it's fine. We'll take care of it. We're good. I'm working on something else for Friday Night Tights. Keep your fingers crossed. I don't know if it's going to work out or not, but I'm not working. Lady Gravemaster is working on something for Friday Night Tights. So applause to Lady Gravemaster for even trying, and we'll see if it works out. Titan Comics have done a translation of the excellent French Elric band designer. Well, my friend. You mean these? I don't know if, but these are, I got these because of Razor Fist, by the way. Razor Fist did some, there you go. These are dope. French comics rule, by the way. I know everybody's into manga, but they need to translate more French comics. They really do. This is Elric. Fucking awesome. That is comic books. That's shit all back. Titan is a decent company. Unfortunately, they print Jody Doctor Who comics, so I don't buy those anymore. And I used to buy all their Doctor Who comics, and I stopped. Again, these idiots have been saving me a lot of money, but I've been giving that to small businesses. That's how, if I still want to buy something, I go on eBay. I look for a shop, help out a guy. I make sure I'm not giving to a publisher or a company, and help somebody out on eBay who probably could use it a lot more than these assholes can. EVS said they went after Dynamite's IP holders. Says the pie is a lie for $2. Then the IP holders are a liability, and I would get rid of them immediately. So all of their IP holders, because that would mean Derek and Garth from the boys. Garth Ennis would cancel Courts or somebody. Garth Ennis is supposed to be like the bad boy of comics. You know that? Like Warren Ellis. They were supposed to be these badasses. I ate a dinner with Garth Ennis right before he was going to go check out some great white sharks here in the Bay Area. He's badass. He's like a man's man. He's going to fucking cancel culture like a little bitch. I mean, really? That's disappointing. So the boys. See, I'm interested to know who these IP holders are. Inquiring minds want to know. Kai, MFS, is member of the Jaloja level. What's up, Kai? Thanks again, buddy. Douglas Nelson for $5. Hail, Douglas Nelson. He throws up. He's good at. He gives us some pretty good memes and stuff. I like it. I do. When you bend the knee, it's only blood in the water. The punishment will never end, as the Twitterverse is only happy while it's punishing people and feasting on their flesh. Decent. Thank you, Douglas. You are a decent man. Lord Vengeance for $5. Decent men not standing up to fight is the reason we're in this 2020 mess to begin with. Yep. I'm fighting the best I can. And honestly, I'm done. I wouldn't shed a tear or a drop of blood for this city that I'm in right now. I could give a fuck. But I go down to San Diego very soon. I'm going down to San Diego. I'm not going to put up with that shit down there. Not my hometown. Michael Billington, welcome to the Gandalf level. Gray Ghost for $5. I'm tired of some people out there saying mine and others' skin color, sexual preference, etc. as human shields to other people as human shields to take other people they have issues with down. Exactly. Gray Ghost, you're exactly right. They are using you and others to shame people. They're using your pain, your struggle, your trauma to shame people to make themselves feel better. How about those? Yeah. How about that? How about fucking that? That's a pissa. Bear Nerd Friend for $5. Gary, I have a new song video out. The latest one, Story Man Sound, and one before that was Waiting on the Sauce. Have a cup of pizza on me. Oh, I'm going to have a cup of pizza today. That's coming up. Ooh, it's getting late. Damn it. Yeah, I got to go. Dan C for £5. I have no idea. If I don't get my way, I will say you are a Yahtzee, said an 11-year-old when their parents sent them to bed before they wanted to go. Exactly, Dan C. That's all this is. It's a big fucking temper tantrum, but it's deadly. It's deadly. Chris Stanley, thank you for the piece of pie for $1.49. Vanessa Lore for $2. Can you invite Dan/Type to the next Doctor Who stream? Yeah. Here's the deal. I kind of put the invite out. So I was kind of like leaving it to Noel and others to invite people in. Cause I asked Bolstrek to invite who he likes. Cause I was, cause I'm prepping for live streams and stuff. So, but, I was going to get Dan and well, isn't Dan Type? And I was going to get Ian into the next one. I kind of thought they'd be there. I was kind of surprised they weren't. Oh, nope. I got the wrong one. Hang on. But we'll do next one. We'll do another one. So next Monday, a week from today, yours truly and Az are going to be breaking down a What Culture video that came out about 3 months ago that kind of breaks down the problems with Doctor Who, but side skirts the real problems. So he and I will be breaking down that video live 10 a.m. Pacific time a week from today. Tomorrow, I will be on Az's channel for bagging and boarding and chatting. I will be bagging and boarding. I'm going to quit now. I'm going to bag and borg. I'm going to be bagging and boarding Ghost Rider and Warlock and probably some Avengers and some obscure stuff. I'm going to pick out some obscure stuff. Cash Kester for $2. Hashtag 2020, the year that was canceled. Yep. Except for you and I. See, we still have to live. There is still stuff going on. You can still go outside. Everything's not really canceled. We have each other for entertainment. And I do appreciate you. I appreciate everybody for joining up. Thanks for jumping on the RIP Doctor Who live stream. Thanks for putting up with all my live stream this weekend. And there'll be more tomorrow. There'll be more tomorrow. And yeah, I got to spend the rest of the day making a video. So thank you all for showing up. Fuck Dynamite. God damn it. That's such a pisser. It's so disappointing. But thank you to the moderators, Lady Gravemaster for producing the episode, Nihilist Shadow, Starry-Eyed Girl, Eric K. Who else we got? Chris Persia. We got Robot Rob Shlomo was in here. Again, Starry-Eyed Girl. Thanks everybody for showing up. Y'all have a great day. Thank you for all the super chats. You leave the lights on. I am sponsored by you. I am sponsored by the fans. Welcome to the 9 new members we got today. So welcome to the 9 new members. I appreciate that. And I'll see you tomorrow on Az's channel, 10 a.m. Pacific time. So catch you later. Not all who wander are lost. And we got one at the end. Thanks, Chris Stanley, for the $5. I'm going to get some coffee now. May the wings of liberty never lose a feather, and you bow to no one.